Hey everyone, it's the Rockstar01. Today's video is going to be kind of more opinions and me talking about some of my experiences being a female hockey fan. Well, sports fan, because I do watch baseball occasionally and sometimes I watch football. I don't really like football, but if it's on, I'll watch it, and I always am down for watching the Super Bowl. But anyways, like I think I've said in previous videos, I've been a hockey fan since about 2007 or 8 when my youth group went to a hockey game for an event. And ever since then, I just kind of fell in love with the sport. I became a Penguins fan, and through liking James Neal, becoming a fan of James Neal, and then him being traded, I became a Preds fan. And as I've grown as a hockey fan, reading more into it, learning more about the game, learning more about different teams and players, I do follow, various teams and players now, but I consider the Preds and the Pens like my favorite teams, and then there are other teams like below it that I do follow. But anyways, and then for baseball, I've watched baseball since I was a kid. I've been a New York Yankees fan, probably since I was 5 or 6. My dad liked the Yankees, so I just became a Yankees fan through him. I did get to see the chance to play them live in like 99. So, I was only 8, but I pretty much remember it because it was awesome. And, yeah, so, and I've watched football consecutively. I don't think I've missed a Super Bowl for a long time, but so I've just always been into watching sports, and then I never really went to public school. I actually never even went to school until my senior year of high school when I went to private school. I was homeschooled before, so I had never, had to deal with people saying anything about me liking sports or anything like that. Then in high school, I had some experience with it. Towards the last few months of school, some of the guys started writing on our whiteboard. It was a small private high school. There was probably, I think we had 27 high school students, and that's 9th through 12th grade. My senior class was only 9 people, 7 girls and 2 boys, and one of the boys was my brother. But it was just very small. So the whole high school pretty much is usually always together. Sometimes the freshmen were off in a different classroom, but usually we were always together. Well, some of the boys, towards the end of the school year, started writing how many days left of school there were. And just for fun, they would write a sports figure whose number matched with that day. Like, so on 23 days left, they put Michael Jordan / LeBron James. Because LeBron James was still wearing 23 at the time. This was before he had changed to 6. So, they were they would write that on the board. Well, me and my friend, we thought they would just do like sometimes baseball, but usually football and basketball, because that's what all of them liked. So me and my friends started putting hockey players on there because, we wanted to be included in the fun and what they were doing. And my brother told me that some of the guys were saying that me and Gabby, which is my friend's name, were only putting guys on there who we thought we were good looking. So basically implying that we didn't know what we were talking about. We just put players on there just because we thought they looked good. And my brother, was like, have you seen some of the guys they've been putting on there? Because I think when like 11 days left, we put Mark Messier on there. And, yeah. But, so that was like kind of my first experience with guys trying to say, that I didn't know anything about sports, that I'm just liking it because the guys are good looking, or just picking those numbers because the players are good looking. I didn't really think anything of it, I just thought they were just being jerks, and thought it was because they didn't really like hockey was why they really cared about it. And then when I went to college, I had a history class, and usually like our side there was like the two sides of the classroom. There was the left side over there and the right side. Usually our right side, we would all talk together. Like the other side, they wouldn't talk at all. But like our side, our two rows, my row that me and my friend sat in, and then the row behind us would all talk to each other. And I had a class with, the guy who sat behind me and one of the other girls. We had like a few classes together. But anyways, I would wear different sports shirts because that's just what as you can see, that's just what I'm comfortable wearing. Sometimes I'd wear nicer things, but usually I wear just like a sports shirt and sweatpants or jeans. That's just how I am. That's just what I'm comfortable wearing. So I'd occasionally wear pen shirts with, different players' names and numbers. And then the one time I wore, I think baseball had either just started or playoffs had just begun for baseball. I'm not sure. I can't remember like when class was that season. So if I knew when it was, I would have remembered. But I wore a Mark Teixeira shirt to class. He played for the New York Yankees. He's going to be retiring at the end of the season. But so I wore that to class. And the kid who sat behind me was like, "Oh, Teixeira, huh? You're a Yankees fan?" And I was like, "Yeah, and I was about to get out of my mouth that I'd been a Yankees fan my whole life. I've, grew up watching them." And right before I can say that, he goes, "I bet you can't name 5 players on the Yankees other than Jeter, A-Rod, and that guy." And I was just like, I'd heard people say that before, but I'd never experienced that. I'd never had anyone say that to me in person. Like, I thought, that didn't happen in real life. Guys aren't really like that. But nope, he said it to me. He was like, and I just kind of like looked at him and I smiled and I named off most of the roster because I knew who most of the roster was at that time. And, he just kind of turned around and was quiet about it. And I'm just like, yeah, I know my baseball, And I just think that sometimes I don't understand why guys are like that. Like, as a girl, if a guy were to come up to me and say he likes, I don't know, Grey's Anatomy. I mean, I know that's popular with men and women, but it's mostly popular with women. If a guy were to come up to me and say he likes a show like that, like Grey's Anatomy or Pretty Little Liars, I wouldn't be like, "I bet you can't name da-da-da-da-da." I would be like, "Oh, cool, it's nice that you like that." And I don't know why males feel like you have to validate your reasoning for liking something. Like, I say I like video games. And a guy wants to be like, "Well, I bet you this, this, and this." And I'm like, why does it matter? Like, as I feel like women especially, we have to like prove that we're fans of something. Now, I know some girls, not all of us, but some girls are like that. They pretend to like something to date a guy because they want to have a common interest with you. They're not doing it to be mean and vicious. They just want to be interested in something you're interested in. I mean, yeah, it's not cool that they're pretending to like something they really don't, or pretending to know a lot about something that they really don't. But, they're not doing it to be malicious. They're doing it just because they want a common interest. And I think, like, all guys feel that way. They, like, always want to be like, "Well, I bet you don't know what icing is. I bet you don't know what offsides is." And it's like, yes, I do know what icing is. I do know what offsides is. Do you? I mean, you don't see guys asking other guys that. Like, guys talking to each other about sports. If someone's like, "Oh, I like the Packers," the other guy's not going to be like, "Name 5 players on the Packers." It's just stupid that they do that to girls when a girl tries to say she likes something. I mean, especially like I'm saying, like, as you can tell, wearing a Pred shirt. Obviously, if I spent $32, which is how much they are with shipping and handling, on a shirt, I like it. I'm not going to spend money on something I don't actually like. Or like if a girl tries to say she likes comics, they want to act like they know more about it than you. And it's like, cool, it's great that you know more about it than me, but don't try and act like I'm not a fan of something because I'm a girl. And I think it's just crazy ridiculous that, girls aren't like that with guys. Like, at least in my experience, I have never once said to a guy when he said to me he likes a girly movie or show, oh, I bet you don't know this. Like, that's just dumb. Like, I'm just going to be like, oh, it's cool that you like it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, like, being on the internet, having a blog, having a Tumblr, I mostly do talk about hockey on my Tumblr. I talk about other things. Sometimes I share funny videos. Sometimes I share pictures of my cat. But I mostly talk about hockey. And I've had that experience with the add-on feature, which I have since turned off because I was just tired of people being jerks in it. But, you get you only like hockey because there's good-looking guys. Or you're a girl, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, no, I do. I've actually read into it. This is something I enjoy, I do want to be like a sports writer. Like, that is something I want to do. And, in order to be that, you have to know the lingo, the terminology. You have to know your stats, And I feel like, you always have to defend yourself. And that's like one of the reasons, I do know so much. Like, we were visiting my brother and sister-in-law in Missouri, and me and my brother were talking about hockey, and my sister-in-law was like, how do you know so much? And I'm like, well, because I read, I study. I said, in my opinion, I feel like I have to know everything I can know in order to validate myself as a hockey fan, and that shouldn't be something I should have to do. I mean, I want to do it. I'm not complaining that I know this much, what I know. It's something I want to do. But I feel like even then, it's not enough. Then they just think you just are good at memorizing facts. And it's like, no, this is actually something I am passionate about. This is something I like, And I always feel like, I mean, even with, like, girls, like, I've had that same experience with girls being rude about it. Like, they want to know why you like sports or why you're not into shopping and getting your nails done. And it's like, I like hockey. I like sports. It's just something I've always liked. I've always liked those things. And it's just like, if a guy wants to be interested in doing, I mean, people, I think, should just be allowed to like what they want to like. Their hobbies can be their hobbies, and I don't think people should judge them for that. So that's really where this video is going. This has just, like, been some of my experiences being a female hockey fan. Now, I know not all males are like that. Some guys are like, oh, cool. Like, my boyfriend and his brother, they both, when I told them I like hockey, they're a big hockey family. They were like, oh, cool, awesome. And we would talk about it together, I mean, it's not like all guys are immediately name 5 players on the team. But most of them are. And I feel like a lot of times, even like, I don't know what I want to say, but I just feel like everyone should be allowed to be a fan of something without having to prove that they're a fan, without having to know, a plethora of stats, or where Sidney Crosby was born, or anything like that, to prove that they're a fan. I feel like if someone says they're a fan of something, people should just take them at their word for it, and just be like, oh, cool, awesome. You shouldn't have to prove you're a fan of something. And that goes both ways. Like, for guys, for girls, for everyone. People should just be allowed to like what they want to like without having criticism and critique and people trying to, attack them for it. So, pretty much that's it. This video has gone on for almost 15 minutes now. But this is just something that irritates me every single time it happens. And it does happen quite frequently. You know, sometimes I just try to ignore it and brush it off. But, you know, it happens a lot. And, you know, I feel like it shouldn't happen. You know, if someone wants to be a fan of something that's not conventionally something they're fans of, people should just accept that. Like, if a guy wants to like getting his nails done and like makeup, oh well, let him do what he wants to do. You know, it's not affecting you. So if a girl wants to be a fan of sports and like sports, let her be a fan of sports. And people shouldn't have to prove, you know, why they like what they want to like. And it's just crazy. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. We're we're one whole week into September now. September, August, I don't even know what month it is. But, so preseason starts at the end of September, I believe. I think training camp is starting toward the end of August to the beginning of September. It just depends, team by team have different dates where players are supposed to report back home. So, yeah, I'm excited. Football's also started. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't really watch football that much. I am a Patriots fan. At least I consider myself a Patriots fan. I own a Tom Brady jersey and a Tom Brady t-shirt. But, you know, I watch football if it's on. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a football game. But, yeah, football preseason started this week. So, that's exciting. And baseball is still going on. The Cubs have been winning a lot, so that'll be exciting to see if they can win a World Series this year. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. So I plan on getting another video to you guys closer to the start of preseason, unless there's something that comes up before that. But hopefully the Nashville Predators name a captain soon, so I can talk to you guys about that. I'm still unsure about Edmonton. I know Carolina and Nashville haven't, but I'm pretty sure Edmonton has stated that Connor McDavid will be taking captaincy. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find anything on that. But, yep, that's pretty much it. This video has gone on way too long, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'll get back at you with another video whenever I need to. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.